What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's V2 Rem here. In this video I'm going to be going through the startup and the flight in the ERJ-135 from X-Craft. Yeah, so I've seen a couple of videos on this aircraft, and I've actually learned a lot. So today's flight, in this flight we'll be going from Joburg to Kimberley and everything. So this is the Embraer 135 ground operations. As you can see, we've got the ground covers, we can set everything here, the GPU, the ground equipment and everything. So yeah, it's going to be a cold and dark start initially, and then in future videos we will have everything running. So basically what you want in this type of aircraft is you want to have every single button except for these two here, every single button facing 12 o'clock. Okay, and then you can start your batteries. Basically then you get all of these noises and messages on your screen here. You can just cut that off, and then so basically if it is, for most of the stuff, if it is dark, so that is now off. If it's lighted up, so if it's dark like that, there's no light showing, then that means it's on. So those are on. Windshield we'll put on, and yeah, everything is the way it should be. And they do have a checklist as well. Very handy to have. I don't think I can make it smaller interestingly enough. So you got the power ups, so you got batteries auto, avionics masters on, batteries voltage checked, GPU voltage checked, available, avionics off, GPU if available on, light on. So that's fine. Fuel pump power tanks 2 as required. Yeah. Navigation lights on, so we can put nav lights on. This is your nav, this is your exterior lights there. Fire extinguisher panel checked, so that's fine. And then you got your emergency stuff there. APU as required, so we're gonna put our APU on. So in this aircraft, you'll see with the APU down here, that little yellow box there, you have to put it to the on position and then wait for that box to stop flashing, and then once it stops flashing, then you can start your APU by holding it in for 3 seconds, and then you'll hear it will come on now. Okay. And then your avionics masters can come back on, and air conditioning will be as required. So you'll see now that the APU is coming on. Okay, we are in Airlink, Fly Airlink. It's an old livery as well. I'm trying to see if I can get a nice new livery for it, but yeah, at the moment I can't do that. So electrical panel set, emergency light is armed. Is now armed. Fuel panel is set. Fire detection checked. Power plant panel is set. Electric pump system 1 and 2 checked. Electric pump system 1 and 2 off. So yeah, they are. Pack sign panel, we can just do that along. Ice protection panel is set. Display control panel is set. Flight instruments set and cross checked. RMU is set. Thrust levers are idle. Thrust levers are in the idle position. Trim panel is set. Pressurization panel is set. FMS is set. Fuel quantity is checked. Doors and windows are closed. Okay, so this is all before that. Okay, so we can actually close this down now. So yeah, in here we would, in the FMS we will do initialize FMS. We will put our altitude down. Just hold on, I'm just getting my flight plan here quickly. flight briefing. So we'll be cruising at flight level 260. I'd do those. And then you go straight into here, and you go into departure, so we're departing there. On 3 left, using the Ragu, which for me will be the next one, and will be that one. Okay, and then you go departure. From there you go into the arrival. We're arriving into Kimberley, where I'm currently staying. Using the on runway 02, and the approach will be is it gonna be that? Or let me just double check that. No, I don't think it's gonna be any of them, to be honest. Okay, so then from there, before we execute anything, we go straight into our perf pages. Our number of passengers is going to be 37. Our payload weight is going to be 3,860, 3860, and our total fuel is going to be 2730. So we'll put it 3,000 down, and then you can see that our V speeds are automatically set in. So that will happen if you hold the trim in button for more than 3 seconds. Let's just let you know that you are for any precautions. Then you do it into takeoff mode, and then we're going to perf 2. So perf 2, we've already got our cruise altitude set there, and our cruise speed will probably be 0.80. Too high. Okay, maximum is okay. Wow. Okay, so I'm do 0.78 then. Cruise winds. I haven't had any issues with the winds here. I'll show you what happens for me. So 260 to be 272 at 29 knots. So generally what happens with me is that once I've put in the temperature, it takes me straight into the progress page, which is fine. It's not an issue. But what I like to do is I like to do this. So I like to set my autopilot to everything that I need to set it to, so that we don't have to, because I have had some issues where, because I haven't set this, okay, then what happens is that the aircraft doesn't actually follow anything. So then hit execute, and if you go into your progress page, you'll see all your points here. So now that we are there, we can hit over here. You'll see it'll be full or plan. Just hit that for plan mode, and then here you can adjust your range. So if you want it to be at 4, you can change that. Let's just get rid of this quickly so that we can, and then you can look at your flight plan. So we're taking 3 left. Oh, my ears just popped. So that's Ragul, and then a Vesi's there, and then it'll be straight in. It looks like it'll be a nice straight in there. So yeah, the flight time generally from Joburg to Kimberley is like 48 minutes. So I might keep the full flight in, I'm not too sure, but I'll decide that once I've done the editing and everything. Okay, so the flight plan actually looks pretty good to me. Possibly because there's a Ragul, so we're hitting Ragul there, so that's fine. So we'll possibly see if I can get rid of. I wouldn't want to get rid of that. I want to see what happens with that. So it'll be 260, and then Ivesi will literally be we'll be descending down to 2000. Okay, cool. So the flight plan is all good and everything. I'm happy with that. We can hit the flight directors. we need to set the QNH, which is Kimberley. It's 1025. 1025. And airport elevation is 5,560. That's checked. Okay, then what we do is nav. So I'm gonna do a FLC climb. I know that in the past some people had some issues with FLC. At the moment I haven't had any issues. Some people climb with vertical speed, so generally you'd climb with FLC or speed, and then you'll descend in vertical speed. And generally your descent rate in vertical speed will be at 2000, but we'll get there once we start. Once we get down. Okay. Another thing is you have to hit FMS over here. As you see, it goes pink here. So basically, what that does is that will you'll see that the nav light was orange, like altitude there. If you hit that, then that's now active. Yeah. So, and the cool thing about the autopilot is that it automatically set that. It automatically set your angle and everything. Target speed should be 270. I don't know why it said 273. But that's interesting. So yeah, it's a very light aircraft as well. You will see that it will just want to automatically taxi by itself sometimes, depending on how light it is. But this aircraft generally taxi on idle. You'll notice. You'll see that now. Okay, so let's go back to our checklist. So we can put red beacon on. So red beacon can come on now. So nav and red beacon lights are on. Doors and windows are closed. Takeoff briefing completed. I need to do that. Fuel pump power on. Red beacon on. Emergency parking brake as required. So pre-flight procedures and entered. Okay, that's all done. So we can go engine startup. Okay, so I'm actually gonna get a pushback. Generally,
tow is driving up.
So yeah, so this aircraft I bought myself. Yeah, it was a good buy. Not disappointed at all with this. I don't want to open the door, the window, honestly, man. Lol. So yeah, and you'll notice that I've got my views here. I've got nice views here. Like this is like some of the best views. There's what I call on my streams the Ferrari. Ferrari always pushes us back here. That's cool. I love it. APU bleed needs to come on. So this is the only panel where the lights.
Ready to connect.
So sorry, this is the only panel where if the lights are illuminated, that means they are on. That's the only panel of that. Sorry. Generally, so this means that the
winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
Okay, so you can hear the difference between what the packs do and everything. So yeah, if everything is right, so I'll explain what another issue I've had. Okay, cool. When I get to a certain altitude, so we need to do this. We need to go start pushback.
Please show me where you want to go.
Let me just quickly do this. Let's go there, and then we can release parking brakes. That's lifting us up. So you see, so you go fuel pumps 1 and 2 on. APU run of the 3K override and that auto.
And you may start engines.
Hydraulic pumps off. Packs off. So the packs are currently off. Remember that. And you always want 3 lights at the bottom here as well. APU engine bleed 1 and 2 off, light on. APU bleed on, lights on. Engine 2 and engine 1 will start after 2 seconds. So you hold it for 2 seconds and then it should start. So we'll start engine 2 and then engine 1. And you'll hear that there is a like a flight demonstration there. It'll be 1, 2. And you can just check here. It's coming up slowly. There we go.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow.
Engine 2
Stand
is
by.
coming alive. Okay, cool. We have a good start on engine number 2, so we can close that, and then we can go 1, 2, and then we can see the engine coming alive right there. Perfect, so it looks like we're gonna have almost 2 good starts. There we go. So we can say disconnect, hand signals will be on the right, you'll most likely say. Haven't missed anything else. Okay, so that's 2 good starts on those engines. So then we can go APU bleed can come off. APU will come into this off position. Packs will come back on. And engine bleed.
Nose disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. Well, see you next time and have a safe flight.
So yeah, that's what that's supposed to be looking like. So everything should be pretty dark here. Should have no warnings over here. I do have a co-pilot view as well. So we're basically ready for taxi. What we need to do is set flaps 9. So if you look down here, you got flaps 9, 18, 22 and 45. So we'll be landing on flaps 45. Oh yeah, we need to set this here to 260. This is the pressurization panel here. So I'll explain. If it pops up, I'll explain. But if not, I'll still explain what happens with me sometimes. But that's also because I think I've done things wrong as well. So that sounds cool. Like the sounds and everything are cool and everything. So yeah. So then we go. Taxi lights will come on here. Inspection lights will wait. Everything else is set except for the logo, but we're flying during the day and it's a pretty clear day. So you'll see, yeah, like look at this. The aircraft is just moving. I haven't touched any of my throttles. The aircraft is just moving. So apparently this type of aircraft and like the 175, I think like most of the aircrafts that Embraer have, they generally don't, except for maybe the 195, but like they will generally taxi by themselves. Like you'll see, like my throttle cone is still in idle, and we're just taxiing. So yeah, that's the starter procedure. as we taxi on altitude 3 left. So what's gonna happen is that we're just gonna go there because we don't have much we don't need much runway to depart out of. We're gonna go there and we're gonna depart straight out to Kimberley. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep quiet here as we listen to the engines.
V1, rotate. V2.
Okay, so we've just passed 10,000 feet, so our line lights and taxi lights can come off, strobe lights will stay on, everything else will stay on, and we are good. We're good there. So I just hit autopilot, FLC, and we already nav, and bang, just so that the aircraft doesn't bank too steep. As you can see, my departure wasn't like the best there, but we are at 17,000 feet. It's normally at like 18,000 feet I get cabin altitude high, but we'll see what happens. But they haven't had any issues, like I haven't blacked out or anything during that. But yeah, I'll get back once we've got our cruise. Okay, so we are more or less 1,000 feet away from our cruise. There's a couple of things I didn't mention is that if you click in this little area here, where it says pop-ups and everything, so you can pop up your FMS here, you can pop up your radios and your thrust ratings. Generally you would go into a climb mode and then a cruise mode, so we've just reached our cruise, and then I wonder if it automatically do it, because we should be cruising at 0.78. So we're leveling off. Now cruise speed should be 0.78. So we should be, so we've reached our cruise altitude. We can turn the seatbelt signs off. There's the seatbelt signs coming off. And there we go. So we reached our cruise altitude of flight level 260. It seems like I have done everything right this time, because I haven't got cabin altitude high warning. So it turns out that I had these sensors were off. All these sensors were off, which means the light was, which means those lights were illuminated. So yeah, so we had our cruise altitude already, going at we should be reaching 0.78 now, 7 minutes in, and yeah, so I'll be back once we start our descent. 20 nautical miles from our top of descent. Yeah, one thing that I didn't do was hit standard on here, but that's fine because Kimberley is 1020 today. So that's, yeah. So that's one thing I didn't do once we hit our transition waypoint, but that's fine. Our transition altitude. Yeah. So we are 20 nautical miles up top of descent. Pretty nice cruise and everything. Went smoothly, went well. Let's see, has it calculated? Oh, because I noticed that it hasn't done that yet. Okay, cool. So it will automatically calculate your landing weight. There we go. That's happened now. So we'll be landing flaps 45. Actually, no, we'll be landing flaps 22. It looks like we can do flaps 22, which means our landing speed is going to be 113. Yeah. So flaps 22, 113, and it looks like we should be descending shortly. And then we'll be going down to 5,800, which will also be almost approach altitude, because we go 5,800, and then we'll do a vertical speed down to 3,950, which is Kimberley's altitude, airport elevation. So 9 nautical miles to go. What we can do is we can turn on fasten seatbelts, let the cabin crew know that we'll be starting our descent, and yeah, we will be setting 5,800, and like I said, we'll be doing a vertical speed descent, which we can actually start now. Start our descent going down to 5,800, and then I will want our speed to be 280. So it's gonna bring the nose back up, slow down to 280, and then descend back down to so let's descend back down. What we can actually do is just open this for now. Can't we open this? Come on, baby. You can just get that speed down, I guess, then. Should have done this a little bit sooner. There we go. That's okay. So that little button that I just pressed, yeah, that just illuminated. That's basically like an auto throttle effect. That helps to control the throttles. I don't actually really use that because I trust in the thrust ratings here. I only use that for when we descending. So if we want to get down to a certain speed for descent, then it will be that. So yeah, we're just about to hit Evasi, which we're supposed to be flight level 200 at. So we actually, yeah, I was not thinking this one at all. No lies there. So yeah, we should be fine. We've still got 6 nautical miles to go. 32 minutes in. So if you look here, you got your flap extension speeds. So it'll be flaps 9 250, flaps 22 should be 200, and then flaps 45 is 145. And then max speed below 8,000 feet is 250, maneuvering speed is 200, and whatnot. Yeah. So yeah. So once and we'll be landing on 02, like we said. So we're doing a left turn now, slightly higher than what I've. Let's go down by 500 more feet. Okay, let's go down to 3,000 quickly, because we are slightly higher than what we should be. But just that sound, it sounds so amazing. So it sounds very nice. Okay, 1020 is set already for me. I've already set that. Because it's such a high airport elevation. So what I need to do, I don't think we need to do another stuff. So we get down to about 15, and then I'll bring it back up to 2,000. Because we should be fine from there to get down to, because we're supposed to get down, should be down at 5,800 by FDO2. So at BAB we should be 9,000. So at BAB we should be at 9,000. Over here we should be at 13,300. So we are very, very, very high here actually. Oh, we got some. What I can do is do 260 for now. Get that speed down to 260. Yeah, we're about 3,000 feet too high, because we start our descent slightly later than expected. So yeah, a cool thing about this aircraft is the speed brakes. They automatically deploy. You don't have to arm them. They will automatically deploy on touchdown, once you've touched down and everything. Yeah, we're about 1,000 feet too high, which is fine. No biggie there. Let's go 250. I do plug everything into the autopilot menu, just because it's, yeah, I don't want to keep going, because we descend at vertical speed. If I want to change anything like speed wise, yeah, no, so just leave it at vertical speed for now. Okay, so we should actually be hitting 10,000. We should be actually hitting, because we should be going down to 9,000 now. So once we've hit 10,000, then we should be fine. Then I can bring the vertical speed back up to 2,000. Okay, so yes, I was honestly sorry about that. Interestingly. Okay, so We have just passed 10,000 feet, so that means lane lights can come on and taxi lights will come on as well. And then actually that's actually not a bad idea. Let's go progress MCD autopilot. We go 230. Because any higher than that, then we will be over speeding. So we've just passed 8,600. Okay, we can do flaps 9. Because from there we'll be going on to MDO2 and then straight on to Kimberley Airport. So I'm going to bring that speed down now. Let's bring it down to 200. 1,000 feet to go, and then we're at 5,800. Bring it down. We can go flaps 22. Our speed should be, what is our speed again? Whoops. 113. Oops. 113. That's not going to be helpful. 113 is our landing speed. Okay. 125. Okay, we are extremely high. So I'm gonna take control, gears down. Flaps 45. I thought we were, okay, we are doing flaps. Oops. Because we were very high, sorry, flaps 22. Disconnect autopilot. As we come down, we're going to go into a pretty steep nosedive now. But that's fine as we are coming in. made it down. We made it down into Kimberley. There we go. 42 minutes flight time. At Kimberley, which is cool. Perfect, right there, that's good. Set the brakes. APU is on, that means APU bleed can come on. And we can turn off the engines. And then we go to ground ops, we can open that. This X here means the engines are still running, so we just gotta wait. I'm not opening the cargo door until... Perfect, then the cargo door can open up, and there we go. Welcome to Kimberley.